Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Maisa. I'm a student from English Literature second semester, and here I want to retell about an illustration history of Britain. And before I retell it, I want to tell you that I retell it per point. Okay, for the first point is about social and economic improvement. Between 1875 and 1914, the condition of the poor in the most of Britain greatly improved. It because prices fell, and their life at home was made more comfortable than before. And most homes now had gas, both for heating and lighting. And as a result of falling prices, the families poor could eat better, including meat, fresh milk, and vegetable. Uh, and in 1870 and 1891, the Education Act were passed, and all children had to go to school up to the age 13, where they were taught reading, writing, and arithmetic. And after that, the authority of the church at that time was also weakened, because churches now half empty. The reason that half church empty is because so many people had gone live in towns, and it where they stopped going to the church. uh, and and by 1900, only 19% of Londoners went regularly to church. Okay, and for the second point is the importance of sports. By the end of the 19th century, two sport, cricket and football, had become a great interest to British public. Cricket, which had started as a gentleman's sport, had become popular popular village game. And from 1873, a country championship took place each year, because although it had developed in the 18th century, it was not until a century later its rules were organized. And the other Britain's main game is football. Football was also organized with proper rules in the 19th century as a as an organized game. Football was uh, uh, football was a game for a middle class, uh, but but quickly uh, quickly become popular among all classes. Okay, and the third is changing in thinking. The most important idea of the 19th century was that everyone had the right personal freedom. Had the personal freedom, which was the basic of capitalism. This idea had spread widely through the book by the title inquiry into the world of nations, written by Scotsman Adam Smith. And in 18th century, these ideas were accepted by the growing middle class, and by 1820, more and more people had begun to accept the idea that government must interfere to protect the poor and the weak. And the fourth point is the end of England summer. At the beginning of 19th century, people, of course, realized that they were living at the end of the age. There was still a general belief in the liberal idea that the nation could achieve steadily economic and social improvement, as well as democracy without a revolution revolution thing for Britain could only get better and better. And the fifth point is the last point that I want to tell you, and that's about the storm clothes for war. By the end of the century, it had become clear that Britain was not longer powerful as it had been or as before. There seemed to be a number of reasons why did Britain lose the advantages it had over other countries at the time of Great Exhibition of 1815, the exhibition of 1815, because the other country, the example is German, particularly had greater natural wealth in cladding, coal, iron, and with producing land. At that time, most British people invested their money abroad, rather than in building up home industry. Okay, maybe enough. Maybe that's all. Thanks. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.